He never expected that a single morning walk would change his entire life. At 5:42 a.m., the sun was just rising over the city, painting the sky with tired shades of orange. The streets were quiet, the kind of quiet that makes a man reflect on everything he has run away from. That morning, Daniel wasn't thinking about success. He wasn't thinking about wealth. He was thinking about bills, rents, disappointments, and the countless nights he lay awake calculating how money always found a way to slip out of his hands. He walked with his head down, moving through an old neighborhood he hadn't passed in years. A place where his childhood dreams were born, dreams he had long abandoned. He didn't know what pulled him there. Maybe pain, maybe destiny, maybe something bigger. As he turned a familiar corner, he noticed an old shop, dusty, rusty, forgotten, yet there was something magnetic about it. The sign was faded but readable. Mr. Harlan's bookstore. Since 1973, Daniel remembered. Being 12 the last time he stepped inside, he had seen adults walk in broke and come out looking hopeful. He once believed the store held magic. At 28, life had drained such childish beliefs from him. Today, however, he felt a strange urge to step inside. When he opened the wooden door, a soft bell rang, the same bell from his childhood. The shop smelled like old paper and forgotten wisdom. Behind the counter sat Mr. Harlan, now gray, frail, but with eyes that still carried the sharpness of someone who had seen far more than others realized. The old man looked up slowly and smiled. "Daniel, I've been expecting you." Expecting him? Daniel froze. He hadn't spoken to this man in 16 years. "How did you know I'd come?" "You only come here when life is about to change," the old man replied, as though speaking to the wind. Daniel wanted to laugh, but something inside him told him to stay quiet. Mr. Harlan stood up, walked to a shelf he had never touched in Daniel's childhood, and pulled out a plain brown notebook. No title, no author, no pictures. Just a brown cover like a school notebook. "And it's about to change yours, this," he said. He placed it gently on the counter. "Is the book that changed my life." Daniel opened it. There were no chapters, only stories. Real stories of ordinary people who went from nothing to something. People who failed more than he ever had. People who cried the same tears he had cried. And at the end of every story, the same message repeated: wealth is never the problem. Mindset is. He flipped through page after page and began trembling. He wasn't sure if it was fear or hope. But he read one line that shook him deeply. "Your bank account is a reflection of your decisions, not your destiny." He hadn't spoken to this. He stopped breathing for a moment. Was he the problem all along? Was he the one holding himself hostage? Had he spent years blaming the economy, the government, his salary, his circumstances, and when the real chains were in his mind? Mr. Harlan watched him with calm eyes. "You think you're broke," he said softly. "But you're not broke. You're uninformed. And the uninformed will always feel trapped." Daniel looked up, confused. "How do I change it?" he whispered, as though afraid to disturb the dust floating in the air. The old man pointed to the notebook. "You don't change by wishing. You change by learning. Wealth follows those who pursue. Understanding, not money." Daniel didn't know how long he stood there, flipping pages. It felt like time had paused. Every page reflected a version of himself he didn't want to face, fearful, doubtful, average, but between the lines, he sensed something. He was not finished. Life had not counted him out. He still had time to rewrite his story. He closed the notebook gently. "How much is it?" he asked. The old man smiled. "It's free, but it will cost you." "Your excuses," Daniel swallowed. That was the most expensive price he had ever been asked to pay. He walked out of the shop with the notebook pressed to his chest. The city didn't look the same anymore. The sky looked brighter. The air felt lighter. For the first time in years, he wasn't afraid of the future. He was curious about it. Over the next months, Daniel devoured every lesson in the notebook. He stopped chasing quick money. He stopped blaming circumstances. He started learning, truly learning about investing, saving, skills, value creation, discipline, patience, and wealth psychology. He started acting like the person he wanted to become, not the one life had, cornered him into being, and gradually everything changed. Not overnight, not magically, but inevitably, because once a man changes, his mindset, money has no choice but to follow. That is the story of how Daniel discovered the truth that millions never learn. The richest place in the world is not the bank, and it's the mind. Change it and everything else changes with it.